What year was that?
Wow, that was in 1981.
Wow. So the number one, you have a number one put on it, huh?
A number one on the bottom. I painted a number one in iron oxide on the bottom of the pot. So I've kept it all these times, and I'll keep it to the end. I mean, it was an important moment when I realized that, hey, I can do this.
Wow. Where was that?
This is at Vermont Academy. My senior year of high school was at a prep school in Vermont because I'd been raised in Europe with tutors. My parents were diplomats, so we traveled a lot, and we traveled with a scholar who was my tutor. But I needed a year to acclimate into classes with other humans, because I'd always studied in London and Paris and without access to humans. And so I needed to also I needed to prepare for the entrance exams, and I needed to learn American history. And so I went there, and because I had been raised, in very fancy hotels by tutors and governess, I didn't really know how to deal with other kids my age. I was very precocious, and so I actually needed to learn how to deal with other kids in that school, which was helpful. Because I was, I had a mild autism, high functioning, but and I needed to be able to navigate relationships. So
what brought you to pottery class?
Well, that's an interesting story.
It's not like U.S. history.
Yeah. So I didn't know that I was autistic until about a year ago. So for 60 years I had no idea. But when I got to the high school, I mean, I was a skier. My sport was skiing, slalom, and it was a ski school. So I loved the skiing and I loved the students, but I also needed a lot of silence and a lot of darkness. And a friend of mine was in the studio, pottery studio, and he said, "Hey, I need to go to the studio to trim a bowl. Do you want to see how it works?" And I did. I desperately did. And I went, and there was this subterranean basement studio with no windows, and it was really, really quiet. And I suddenly realized this is my space. I need this space to navigate my emotions about being with all these students. And so I was drawn to it because of the space, not because of the art. But the art, the art did become an important part. This space here, I very rarely invite people in, because it's my sort of, my day job is to be extroverted and to be with people and to get them to give millions of dollars. But then on the weekend, I don't want to be with anybody. I just want to be alone with my dog or in the studio. So part of my introduction to pottery was just the realization that I need a certain amount of low light and silence in my life, which is why I wanted to become a monk. If I had known I was autistic, I would never have entered a monastery.
So the pottery studio is your space.
Yeah, it's my hidey hole.
It's your, and probably what's the opposite of hiding? It's where you come to life, maybe.
It is. I mean, I come to life in both scenarios, but they each need their time. I'm alive when I'm with people raising money, and I'm alive when I'm alone making pots. And I'm alive when I'm writing. Writing is also a solitary, dark, early morning thing that we do. So there's a theme